here as well. Candy, there's a new robocall, an automated phone call that's going out that the McCain-Palin campaign and the RNC are sending out phone call messages to thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of folks. I don't know how many, but we've got a little clip that was posted just a little while ago on HuffingtonPost.com. I'm going to play a little bit of it, and then all of us will discuss.
Hello. I'm calling for John McCain and the RNC because you need to know that Barack Obama has worked closely with domestic terrorist Bill Ayers, whose organization bombed the U.S. Capitol, the Pentagon, a judge's home, and killed Americans. And Democrats.
All right, that's just part of the message. It goes on to say Democrats will enact an extreme leftist agenda. All right, this is pretty tough stuff out there. What are you hearing about this automated phone call?
Well, first of all, that there are other phone calls, one of them dealing with the abortion issue and various sort of hot button topics. They're going into 6 states. No, it includes Virginia, it includes North Carolina, it includes Ohio. And they make no bones about it. So yeah, these are our robocalls and we're putting them out there. They really believe that despite all the talk that nobody's interested in that it is beginning to kind of take root and causing people to take a second look. Now, how they know that, I don't know, but that's what they believe.
It's very often happens in the final days of any campaign that you get these automated phone calls. You know, we've all received them on our home phones from time to time. But what do you think about this?
Well, it's pretty striking, I think. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised because I thought that after this debate, there was a sense in my discussions with the McCain campaign that they sort of wanted to get beyond the Bill Ayers. They weren't upset that they had used it or they didn't have regrets about using it, but I didn't think that they were going to sort of thump it all the way home. It sounds like they're going to. It'll be interesting to see if they do the same thing in public appearances, if Sarah Palin continues to mention it, if it's in other ads.
See, I doubt that. I mean, I think this is in lieu of John McCain or Sarah Palin. It doesn't count if they're not saying it. You know, that's
that's right. This is what happens at this close to an election. You have a high road campaign, and then you have the sort of subterranean low road campaign. And so John McCain may not be talking about it, and he will say he's not talking about it, and they can say they're not talking about it, but they can't control what the Republican National Committee
and
is
talked
doing.
About it. He's talked about
it
mostly.
But this is from them as well. This is McCain,
right.
But that's what they're going to say.
Gloria, it says at the end of the call, this call was paid for by McCain-Palin 2008 and the Republican National Committee.
Right, but, you know, this is, again, they can get a little bit of distance from it.
Well, and he's talked about it, John McCain, when he's talked about it, it's usually been in response to questions that he's gotten from reporters, as in his interview the other day with Dana Bash. He brought it up, but he made, I thought, some very aggressive comments about it, saying Bill Ayers wanted to destroy America and continues to want to destroy America.
It's part, Candy, of what they call the ground game. Only days before people go out there, and the Republicans usually, at least in 2004, they had a great ground game in Ohio and elsewhere, and I guess they're trying to revive that at this stage.
Well, it's they have this 72-hour get out the vote machine that really was birthed by Karl Rove, actually. This is obviously the money to kind of feed that and try to, you know, drum up support and getting some passion in there. I mean, so what they need is door knockers and envelope stuffers.
And today, when he was out on the stump, he echoed a line that he delivered last night. I'm going to play a clip. Steve, listen to this.
I'm not George Bush. If he wanted to run against George Bush, he should have run 4 years ago. I'll take us in a new direction.
And he's got a new ad out that takes a pretty direct swipe at the 8 years of the Bush administration. Is it too little, too late, though?
Well, I think this has actually been a message that they've been driving for quite a while. If you
not as bluntly as he did last night.
This was the most directly that he said it.
Why did it take so long? It's
not that
hard to say. I'm not George Bush.
I don't think. Look, when he kicked off the general election campaign in Kenner, Louisiana, on June 3rd, he gave a speech that was basically designed to distance himself from George W. Bush. And he said Barack Obama and his campaign will say repeatedly in their ads, in their press releases, etc., that I am running for a third Bush term. Why will he say it repeatedly? Because it's false. So he's been pushing this, and that speech came after a fight inside the McCain campaign headquarters about whether he would be wiser to run against Washington or run against Bush.
But but let's remember where he was. This is definitely the toughest and the biggest separation for McCain and Bush. It's a total slap at him. But let's remember that he almost didn't need it up until right at those numbers
Totally
began to
agree.
go
I
down.
totally
Yep.
agree.
He had
Yep.
the M Maverick after his name, so
Right.
he didn't need to be this hard. He's got to be this hard.
He's got to
For
do
those
everything he can.
independent voters, because Republican voters like George W. Bush.
Stand by,
He's
guys.
not as unpopular.
Barack Obama right now, he's saying he's now drawing an important lesson he learned from Hillary Clinton. We'll explain.